meaning and notes, right? This is actually not the Quran. Yes, it's just a closest meaning, right? If we didn't have the Arabic and we only had this, or you say to me that there's a discontinuation in the language. Yes, you say, how can I follow this? Because we have to be intellectual and smart. Yes, because for me it's shocking that someone would say to me that the Bible has been corrupted and changed, but I still believe it's the word of God. I'm quite shocked about that, right? Because I cannot follow this. So now you find that Jesus...
People have different reasons, maybe why they follow, why they don't follow. So it's like me.
There has to be rational reason, right?
Exactly.
It has to be rational. It
My
cannot
beliefs
be...
and your belief obviously is too different. We two different things. You know, I don't doubt your thingy. I believe in what you believe. I trust in whatever you believe. There's value in what you believe in.
No, we're saying that why do you... But the thing is, is that if you believe that something has value, it has to be trustable, right? It has to be the same that it was... whatever, has to be the same what was revealed or what was at that time. So you find that Jesus, there's no proof that Jesus spoke Greek. The earliest manuscripts are in Greek. Yes, there's no proof that Jesus spoke Greek.
What did I tell you? Go back to Africa. The history is there. That's why it's confusing. And I'm giving you that information.
No problem. Yes. Okay. So, but now Jesus didn't speak Greek. He spoke. It's called Aramaic. Yes. So if there's a discontinuation in the language, that they are separate languages, and these manuscripts are coming 70 years after Jesus in language that he didn't spoke, and these gospels were anonymous gospels. We don't know who they were. We don't know who wrote them, right? You cannot follow it. It's irrational to just on a very basic level. Is that if there's writings coming way later in a language that Jesus didn't speak, you cannot. That's not reliable. Yes, but now I'm thinking why the Quran is reliable. Yes, is that the Quran has been preserved in the original language. That's the point that I'm making to you. Is that we memorize the Quran. I'm not Arab, okay. But I have to memorize the Quran in the language of the people that received it, to keep the revelation pure and reliable, right? Yes. So now the Quran is reliable. Also, we have something that is amazing, that people have memorized the entire Quran. A child has memorized the entire Quran, because now the previous scriptures were given to those people to preserve themselves, and they deliberately changed it, right? So in the Quran, Allah takes it upon himself and says the Quran will not change. Now people have memorized the Quran entirely, yes, in the original language. Also, even how to articulate the letters, right? Even how to, because if you do not know how to articulate the letters, you will mispronounce the words, yes? So now even for me to actually read the Quran, I have to read, it's called tajweed, how to articulate the letters. So now the Quran has been preserved, yes? Also, you find that if I give you the proofs why the Prophet Muhammad is a true prophet, yes, would you agree that he's a prophet? Or would you agree, if I give you proof why the Quran is divine, would you agree that this Quran is reliable to be followed intellectually? That it's I'm trying to call you towards Islam, and I'm telling you why it's reliable. Not just because my parents told me, not because of it just sounds nice and cozy, right? You know, there's reasons why, intellectual, academic reasons why, that you can verify why the Quran, it cannot come from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and it is from the Creator of the universe, the true God. For example, do you know that the Prophet Muhammad was illiterate?
Was what?
Illiterate.
Illiterate.
Yes. He could not read and he could not write. Do you know this?
I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not Muslim, so
yes. I don't know your level of knowledge about Islam, so I
like
want to know
very, very small.
Okay, no problem. Yeah.
That's why I came to talk to you, because I am interested. I like to learn about other people's cultures or religion, and just to get a little understanding outside my own, basically.
Okay. Yeah. So you, because It's either you're searching for the truth or you're searching for something that would fit your desire. We're saying the Quran is revelation. You have to follow it because we have proof. It's not because intellectual proofs. Bible, I've never come across intellectual, rational, academic proof why the Bible should be followed. Right.
But have you sat down with a person that's like?
I've sat down with people. I've done my research.
Explain to you properly because
Yes.
me, I'm just a regular person. If I'm very passionate about speaking, maybe if I have my facts, then I can talk more and present my points.
I'll do your
more
research.
valid,
I'll say
but
to go back to the
that's
earliest
what I'm still
manuscripts.
doing.
Go back to
I'm doing
people, like Bert Ehrman, Raymond Brown, Bruce Metzger. These are experts and scholars that are telling us the Bible has been corrupted. The Bible has been changed.
I know that.
We know this, right? So even academically, we know this. But the Quran,
But if the
academically,
Bible is being corrupt, it doesn't mean Christian itself is corrupt.
we would
Christianity itself is corrupt. Maybe the Bible is corrupt, but people that had bad intentions to use it in in the wrong ways. But then, if you do your research, you can go back to the Old Testament and you follow that. So it doesn't mean Christianity if you're following the Bible, whatever. It's just which version are you following. So you can go back to the original text and still practice. It doesn't mean you
you
can.
need to do your research. You need to do a lot of research.
It
in this,
doesn't mean
yeah.
that, let's say, for example, I'm talking to you now. If you're telling me, oh, the Bible is like this, it's like that, it's like that, oh, okay, then I'm going to change. No, because I have to do my own research. I have to.
Go ahead. Yeah, if you go to the earliest manuscripts
you got where
and stuff
you
like
are
that, yeah.
because you have your beliefs. No one forced you to
Okay.
be this and
Yeah,
that.
no problem, yeah.
It's the same with Christians. It's the same with me. Me coming to talk to you is just to understand a little bit different way to look at life.
Yeah,
Basically.
we're not saying that it is the different way of life. I'm standing here today talking to you about Islam because I believe it's the truth.
That's right.
That if you do not accept Islam, you go to the hellfire. The Quran is saying this. That if you do not accept the Quran, if you don't accept the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, if you reject him, you'll go to the hellfire. You would eternally burn in the hellfire, right? You would not
But
come
then
out of it.
Christians can say the same thing about you that are following the same text that you
But-
can go to hellfire.
But
too.
but
know
I
what I
said
mean?
to you that what's the intellectual proof that the Bible is the word of God? Give me one proof the Bible is the word of God, or it's been preserved, or it's the same. I'm trying to tell you why the Bible is not reliable, why you cannot follow it. Again, just to reconfirm what we spoke about before.
Okay, I understand.
The concept doesn't make sense, yes?
What you're teaching people is to give them choice. This is what I believe,
okay.
and that's what it's
go
up
back,
to you
yeah.
what you want. You can't say to people, you have to do this, you have to,
I
because
didn't
they'll
say that
look
to
at you
you.
in a way that, excuse me,
I didn't
who
say
are
that to
talking
you.
to or something.
I didn't say that
I
to
mean?
you. I said to you to do your research academically. I'm just trying to make you understand why the Bible is not. Maybe because you hold Christianity close to your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it could be hard to swallow. It could be quite sour, right? But
It's not sour. I believe in
well,
Christianity. I don't think it's sour.
Okay,
at all.
but has to be reasons why you believe in it, right? That's the point that I'm making. Is that we have to take our emotion to one side. Yes.
Facts.
And then, would you agree?
I do agree. Yeah,
You take your
100%.
emotions to one side
course you
and
have to.
then academically and rationally analyze why am I Christian? What proof for it? Yes. So we say the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he was illiterate. Yes.
Can I take
He was an illiterate man. Now the Quran, it challenges mankind. Yes.
This one is like
Yes,
you
it challenges mankind. It says that.
so he's giving dawah.
Can I take this?
So do you not have one at home?
No.
Okay, because I give it to you only if you're going to read it, because this is for non-Muslims. Yes. Yes. So inshallah, you're going to read it.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, no problem. Then you take it. Yeah.
Thank you.
So now the pagan people at that time, they were experts in the language. Yes, it is a linguistic miracle. Yeah, the Quran is a linguistic miracle, right? The miracle of Jesus was that he could heal people because they were sick at that time. Yes.
We don't have.
Now, because people were sick, generally quite sick, so God gave him a miracle. The creator of Jesus gave him a miracle to show the people that he's a true prophet by healing people. The people of Moses, they used to do magic. So when Moses threw his staff and it turned into a snake and it devoured their snakes, they realized that Moses is not doing magic. This is something that is a miracle from the Creator, right? So then the magicians fell in prostration.
Also, I forgot to say an important part. If you look at history going back, this is coming to my point within the Christianity that has been changed, because even Jesus, the name Jesus, it was not Jesus. It's been
People
changed.
has no
The
J's.
person, the Son of
There is
God,
no
that
J's
was
in
the
Hebrew.
Son of. When Mary gave birth to Jesus, they did not name him Jesus. You know what I mean? They did not name him Jesus. I think it was something like Yeshua or something, but it was nothing compared to Jesus. That when they created the Bible, when they were rechanging it, they put the words to, changed it to take away from the original thingy, but it's not. That's not what it is. But anyway, thank you.
But you're leaning towards what I'm saying. Yeah. So I said that's a bit the point that you can maybe think about why you believe Islam is the truth. Because I just want you to understand why I'm not Christian.
Okay.
Why I've gave Christianity a chance. I gave it a chance. I've done my research. Do you research yourself what I'm saying? Maybe you can go and verify what I'm saying, right? Now the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu
You guys have a YouTube channel.
I got a YouTube channel. Yeah. It's called that one. I think it's called Cov FF. That one.
Is it this sermon?
No, I got a different one.
Oh, okay.
I can give you if you like. But
I'll take it. What do you do on there? What do you know?
we have discussions.
Okay.
Yeah. I try to fruitful discussions. Yeah. I try to belittle someone. I'm not trying to kind of like talk down to people, but I have a discussion where people. It's like an open dialogue basically, so people can learn about Islam. So the pagan Arabs at that time, they were experts in the language. They used to pride themselves on speaking Arabic. Right? They were linguistic masters. Now, when the Quran came to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they were dumbfounded. They didn't understand how an illiterate person that did not have any grammatical training, right, could bring such a complex sequence of words and grammar in such a way that cannot be imitated. Now the Quran is challenging these people at that time and mankind and telling them to try to imitate the Quran, right, to bring something like this. First, Allah challenges life in chapter 2, yes, chapter 2 verse 23. It says, and if you are in doubt, so if you have any doubt, so no, the Quran is saying there is no doubt about the Quran. You can't bring me anything. There's no doubt in this book. It is verily, this is the revelation of Allah.
I like watching.
But you can have certainty, basically, yeah.
I asked you YouTube because there's this guy that I think he's one of the leaders for Islam, and he does different topics, and he does like a conference where people come. Is a lot of people coming.
Oh, that
and
is Zakir Naik. It's called Zakir Naik.
I forgot his name, but what these people, they have doubts about Islam. Some of them believe in Islam, so he answers questions for them, and some of them, they really want to be Islam, but they just one question that no one seems to answer fully for them to actually give themselves in. So they're like to this person, the person that's teaching them, if you can answer me this question, I can convert to Islam, because so they answer the question, and some of these questions is the question that's in my head as well. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, I didn't know. So they're really, really, really good, teachings about them. And what I can say that I like about Islam is that you guys know how to teach very well to make people understand, one, and you guys are very passionate. I'm not just you, for example, you look like you're very passionate about it. The other people that I've spoken to, or even just looking at the YouTube channels, they're really like invested, and that I can see a shift from maybe the Christians are a little bit more relaxed when it comes to taking the Bible seriously, or even the teachings or whatever. But with Islam, with Christians, you can find people that are very passionate and consistent and everything, But with Islam, I've never come across anyone either that is trying to preach or spread the word that if I look at them and I'm thinking, they're not really passionate. Everyone that I've ever come across with the Islam, regardless it's in person or on YouTube, you can tell that they know their stuff, you can tell that they're passionate, you can tell that they've done their research, and that's what you need.
I would agree.
For that, guys, I really like.
If you look at people that become Muslim,
Yeah.
they intellectually become Muslim. They
Yeah.
said, I intellectually understood why the Quran and why
Yeah.
the Prophet Muhammad is the true prophet.
Yeah.
But I'll find that if you do your research into just watch videos on how someone became a Christian, it's more emotional.
Yes.
I saw Jesus, I met him, or I was feeling very down. Even the preachers in the street, that they will shout and scream that Jesus changed my life. But these are subjective experiences that cannot be verified. We're saying that objectively you can verify the Quran. So just to sum up, maybe we can sum up what we've spoken about. I just want to give you the proofs, right? I think do your research. You can maybe do some more research about Islam. Yeah. So you that first Allah said to bring one book like this. Now they failed. Right, they failed to bring a book like this. So then Allah said to bring 10 chapters like this. Try to bring something grammatically try to bring something like this, imitate it, right? Then the Quran says to bring one chapter like this. So in chapter number 2, verse 23, it says, and if you are in doubt about what we have sent down, the Quran, upon our servant, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, then produce a surah the like thereof and call upon your witnesses, i.e. supporters other than Allah, if you should be truthful. It says try to bring a chapter like this. It's challenging mankind. I never come across any book, Bible or Torah or Bhagavad Gita is challenging the reader. Try to bring something like this, and it says, but then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the next verse 24, but if you do not, and you will not be able to. Why? Because he's saying that this is the word of Allah. Then fear the fire whose fuel is people and the stones prepared for disbelievers. Yes. So now the smallest chapter in the Quran, is chapter 108. Yes. It says, Inna ataynaka al-kawthar fasalli li rabbika wanhar inna shani'aka huwa al-abtar. This is the shortest chapter in the Quran. In these three sentences, there are approximately 40 to 50 grammatical devices, simile, hyperbole. Like you have like grammatical devices in language, yeah, where you can express yourself in different ways, right? So now there are approximately 40 to 50 grammatical devices in approximately 15 words. Yes. Now the pagan Arabs at that time, they tried their best to imitate the Quran. They said, "Oh Muhammad, these are not your words. Okay, we know you are illiterate. You cannot read. You cannot write. Yes, but this Quran that you're reciting, it is something supernatural, right? Because we know you. Because Makkah was a close-knit community. They all knew one another, and they knew that this person he's illiterate, right? So now, whilst I've been speaking to you, I've made many grammatical mistakes. Because in spontaneous speech you make mistakes, right? I cannot speak to you in a perfect grammatical way. That's impossible, right? Even if you write a dissertation, if you write even a newspaper, if you read a newspaper, you'll still find mistakes in there, right?
No one is perfect.
No one is perfect, even in writing something,
Yes.
right? Physically writing something. So now the Quran was revealed over a 23-year period, right? It wasn't revealed as one book. It was revealed by circumstance. Like you asked me a question, yes?
Yeah.
Because it's on the spot. I'm murmuring. These are grammatical mistakes, right? In spontaneous speech, you make mistakes. Now, the Prophet ﷺ was asked questions on the spot, like you're asking me questions, on the spot. Then the angel Gabriel came to him, gave him a revelation, and then he spoke. Then his companions, they memorized it and they wrote it down. Yes. So it was only after 23 years after he died, yes, then they put it into book form. So it is even...
Actually, that's an interesting, thank you for telling me that, because I didn't know that, because I know that your religion is one of the, like Christianity is an old religion, right, from back in the day, and yours is like one of the last ones to come to light. And people have saying, oh, that's a bit fishy, why is it the last one to come out? Because you're looking at all the other religion and summing it up and making it better. You're looking at all the other religions to fill up a gap, and then you created a Quran that covers everything. So people can look at it in a way, but I didn't even know that, you know, it was there before it was written. It just has to be put in a...
It was orally preserved.
Already, yeah. So I didn't know that.
So we have... What makes Islam unique to all religions is that we have oral tradition that we memorize. That we have a strong method of memorization. People memorize hadith, what the Prophet ﷺ said. The whole book. Like, they memorize whole books of the Prophet ﷺ sayings. So we have a strong oral tradition. It's something that is very unique to Islam.
Yes.
It's very, because people memorize in the Quran. Even we have chains of narration that a person, we know where the Quran came from because we have chains of narration. Everyone in that chain, back to Prophet ﷺ, we know who they were, or where they were born, what they ate, their parents' names. So Islam, we have a strong method. So we have a strong, it's called chains of narration, isnad and these things. So like hadith, we have chains of narrations. We know every single person. You know, we'll say to you, just for a brief moment, I've talked about the Bible. Who was Luke? Sorry, who was Mark? We don't know who was Mark was. We don't know who was Matthew. These were anonymous gospel. We know the Quran 100% categorically it came from the Prophet Muhammad.
But then I can argue with you on that point that they do know where these people come from. They do know that they were disciples, but they were not just disciples. There is a book of Enoch, a book of Luke, a book of this in the Bible, and these people have their own stories. But it's too complicated to say, because trust me, I've done a lot of research into the Bible. Where did it actually come from? And it trusts me, a lot of sources trust me back to Africa. That if you look at these names,
can you name me one source?
Okay, I can give you a name that you can Google. That was one of the...
That Jesus was from Africa, but I don't want to change the point. I just want to give you my points and then maybe...
The Africa connection, I have a lot of proof for that one. I don't know if my internet is working, but I want you to just Google a name. It would tell you, it's like I said, Jesus' name was changed, right? So all these other people, a lot of them, like Luke, whatever, some of these people, they are not...
They were from...
The names are
Africa?
not... Yes, the names are not...
Luke was from Africa, Matthew...
Okay, let me...
I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
Yes. The point I'm trying to make is these people are names, they have, that's fine. These people have English names. Mark, Luke, John, the disciples of God. Jesus, himself, he was black for a start. He was from Africa. He was from Africa. So it doesn't make sense that his original name has changed, but then his associates' names or the people that his disciples, the 12 disciples, still maintain the English name. So a lot of them. So if you're reading now something that has been translated and you look at Luke, okay, did he have a mom? If his original name was an African name that has been changed, you're not gonna find evidence of Luke's brother or Luke's mother because there's no that information because it's been changed so much that it loses value. If you come to someone and be like, did you know that the original name of Jesus is actually this name? A lot of Christians don't even know that. So how do you expect to know that these disciples, if you want a backstory to them, who are they? Where did they come from? You can't find that information because it's been changed. But is there that information? Of course there is. There is that information.
You know, you'd have to, I can't really comment on this. I think we addressed the point before as well.
I wish my internet can work so I can just give you even one name.
Okay, maybe I'll look into it. No problem. Because, because I'm trying to know why the Quran is reliable. Yes, and maybe talk about some of the points. Then maybe we can depart ways. So so now that it's how does a man? Because I want to focus on the points that I'm making about why the Quran is divine. Yes, how does a man? It's okay, no problem. I'll look into it. I'll look into it. So I want to focus on what I'm saying about the Quran. I want to focus about these things. Yeah, is that how does a man predict what question he is going to be asked? He's illiterate. Somehow write something that grammatically no one else could imitate at that time till this day. How did you do this? How does an illiterate man that cannot read, cannot write, speak on the spot spontaneously? Because we're saying, whilst I've been
spirit. In Christianity we call it spirit. If someone, let's say, a messenger of God, basically.
I'm talking about Islam, yes? Is that we're saying why the Quran, and I'm giving you proof why the Quran is divine. I'm talking about the text itself, that he's speaking the Quran on the spot. The people are memorizing it and they're writing it down. He cannot take it back. I think is, if I'm speaking right now, yes, and someone is writing what I'm saying, they will say to me that now you are speaking, you are making many mistakes. Okay, you are a very bad public speaker. You shouldn't be in the street because you're making a lot of mistakes. Yes, so because in spontaneous speech you make mistakes. Presidents and prime ministers, they have a pre-written speech and they memorize it. Right? Shakespeare, he can take his work and he can change it. But now the Prophet ﷺ is speaking on the spot, answering questions, getting guidance to do certain things on the spot. He cannot change it. He cannot make amends. So, because then his companion will say, look, he's changing it. How can it be revelation? Right? So his companions are memorizing and writing it down, yes? So how does an illiterate man, how does he predict what question is going to be asked, speak in a grammatical structure that no one else could imitate at that time, right? And also answer the question. Are you listening?
I'm listening.
Yeah, so maybe come back next week and find me that. Find me this. It's fine. You come back next week, yeah. But I want you to understand the point that I'm making, right? How does the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, once again, how does he predict what question he is going to be asked, right? Be illiterate, speak in a grammatical structure that no one could imitate at that time, experts in that language, making them dumbfounded and confused and baffled how he's speaking the Quran. They're saying that it is a supernatural speech, right? They are affirming that it's not a man-made thing. How does he do this? How does he do this?
That's why I try to answer, because I'm not Muslim, so I don't know from your perspective, but if I'm looking at the Christian perspective, it will be through a spirit. That's where the Trinity comes in place.
No, we're not talking about Christianity, we're talking about Islam.
But you asked me a question, so I'm not Muslim for me to say, okay, to answer. I don't know how to answer it. I can try
what I'm saying is that how, because if he doesn't have the ability or the capacity
Thank you.
Yeah, it was saying that if he doesn't have the ability or the capacity, okay, to speak in a grammatical perfect manner, yes, then this is the Quran is saying that this is revelation because you cannot imitate the Quran. In chapter 2, verse 23, it's
Okay,
saying
that process we call it like spirit, basically, in the Christian form. But carry on. Sorry.
Yes, yes. What I was saying is that we don't believe that, we don't believe that you are inspired by the Holy Spirit. This is a Christian belief that cannot be verified. The point I made that we cannot verify these beliefs of Christianity because the Bible cannot be verified. I'm telling you why the Quran, my belief is correct, and the one that will take you to paradise. Yes? But it is impossible for them to do this. What brings more weight to the argument, yes, after they put the Quran together after he died, yes, they realized that the Quran is diamond cut. Yes, right? So for example, Christians come to us and they say that Jesus is God because he didn't have any father on earth. Therefore, his father is the one, literally is his father, yes? So now the Quran refutes this. It says that Adam and Jesus, there is a likeness. Adam had no father and mother, yes? Right. Therefore, he is, by that logic, he's a greater God because Adam had no parents, yes? Intellectually refuting the idea, the argument that Jesus is God because he had no earthly father. Now, what's fascinating, whilst I've been speaking to you, right? Because now I'm speaking to you in spontaneous speech. Can you or I know how many times I said the word Quran?
No.
It's impossible, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. It's impossible for us to know how many times because I'm just speaking, just to spontaneously, yes? Now, Allah compares Adam and Jesus, right, in the Quran, Surah Imran, chapter 59, verse 59, and the word Adam, are you listening?
I'm listening, yeah.
Yes, because I just focus on this, yeah?
I'm listening to you, sir.
I can bring a proof next week. Yeah, it's fine because I'll focus with me for one moment, yeah? Is that the word Adam in the Quran is mentioned 25 times. Okay? The word Jesus in the Quran is mentioned 25 times. Now in chapter, yes, but I'll tell you why the Quran is a miracle. I just want to I want you to understand why we believe as Muslims with certainty, intellectually, why the Quran is not a work of a human being. Yes?
Okay,
Yes.
I have about 2 minutes left.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah. Let's give you this. It says, look, indeed, the example of Jesus of Allah, like that of the first man, yes, Adam. He created him from dust, and then he said to him, be, and he was. So Adam is mentioned 25 times in the Quran, and Jesus is also mentioned 25 times in the Quran. Yes. So you would agree that rationally, I cannot, if I'm speaking to you on the spot, I cannot know how many times I said the word Quran. I cannot know how many times I said the word. I cannot know how many times I said the word spontaneous. That's impossible for me to do this. It's an impossibility. Now the Quran is comparing these two people and mentioning them names 25 times each. I would ask you as a Muslim, how does the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ do this? Either it's revelation from the Creator, and you have to accept and follow the Quran, right? Or you're rejecting the truth. Because I'm telling you, I'll give you another one, yeah? Okay, now the longest chapter in the Quran is chapter 2, Surah Baqarah, yes? Right. Now the Quran has the Surah Baqarah. It has. I'll show you. Yes. Just one moment. Right. It has 286 verses. This is the longest chapter in the Quran. It's called Chapter of the Cow. Maybe I'll give you the Quran. You can read it. Yeah. And how many verses here?
280.
286. Yes. What's half of this?
I'm not good at maths. 3143.
Yes. So now, amazingly, which is a miracle, 143. It says, "We have made you a medium nation." Right. So this was understood after they put the Quran together. Now, it's impossible for him to do this. It says, "We have made you a medium nation," a middle. So in the middle of the chapter, it says middle. We made you a medium nation. Yes. So we would say this is why I'm Muslim. That the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he cannot do this. He's illiterate. Yes, he cannot read, cannot write. He has no grammatical training, right? He is speaking spontaneously. His companions are writing it down and memorizing it, and he's not changing it. He's not saying, you know what, let me just change it. He's saying he is commanding them to write the Quran. Yes. So we will say, I'll give you a prophecy. Look, if the Prophet Muhammad made a prophecy and it came true, would you accept that he's a prophet? Would you think about Islam, accepting Islam?
Say that again.
If the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam made a distinct prophecy and it came true, would you think about accepting Islam?
I don't know.
Yes?
I don't know.
Last one that you can go, right? So, have you ever been Dubai before?
No.
Right. Do you know that the UAE was extremely poor before?
Was?
UAE was extremely poor.
Yes, I know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did they become rich? Do you know?
I haven't done a lot of research on that, but I think it's to do with the oil or something.
Excellent,
like that.
right? So yeah, it's good that you know, right? So in 1966 they found oil, and now UAE is a very luxurious place. You find that Dubai is a very, if you go to Dubai, right, you have like Ferraris, whatever. I can't even think about all the cars, but so they have cars and basically materialism, yeah. Money, they have a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
But it's only in 1966. Before this, they were destitute, they were extremely poor.
Yes.
Right? So now, when they found oil, this is how they acquired the wealth. Right? So, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said close to 1500 years ago, right? There's a prophecy, it's an authentic narration that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that there will come a time where these barefooted Bedouin desert dwellers, there will come a time in the future where they'll compete in building tall buildings. Yes? Right? So, now, 7th century, you find that you had if you do research, you find that you had the Persian Empire and the Roman Empire. They were poor, right? You had the city Arabs. The city Arabs, they had some trade. He said the barefooted Bedouin desert dwellers. There'll come a time where they'll compete in building tall buildings. Yes? So now, where's the tallest building in the world? Do you know?
Sorry?
The tallest building in the world.
It's in Dubai.
What's it called?
I don't know.
It's called the Burj Khalifa, yes.
Okay.
The third tallest building in the world, it is the Makkah Clock Tower. Yes, it's in Saudi Arabia, yes. The second tallest building in the world is in China, right? It's the tallest building in Europe. It is it's called the Shard. 95% of the Shard is owned by people from Qatar. So they have financed it. Yes. So now, how does the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam know this? That they will compete, because I want to understand why we read the Quran, why Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the true prophet. It's categoric, because now in Saudi Arabia they are trying to build another a building called the Kingdom Tower. Yes? Yes? I don't know if you're following or not.
I'm following you. I'm listening.
Maybe it's a long conversation, that's why.
It is. That
Yeah.
to go. There is
Yeah.
like
So
now, actually.
So we're saying that it's impossible for him to know that there will come a time in the future where they'll compete. How does he know this? That they will compete?
Through prophecy, like through prophecy. And prophecy, I don't know how to say the actual word in Islam, but through the spirit, because if someone it's like someone that wrote the Bible, the spirit had to come on that person for him to know what to write and everything. So
It was. Again, we have discussed these points that why the Bible there's no evidence for the Bible is the word of God. If you give me the proof, if you just go home, do research, give me one proof
yes,
that
I'm
we have.
trying to find you my proof right now. But
We're talking about Jesus being from Africa, Luke, Matthew, and Mark, and maybe Paul as well. I think they're being from Africa. You can maybe bring that next week, maybe. But right now we're saying is that the Bible has no way that it's preserved. There is no way. Yes. Secondly, the concept of God, it doesn't make sense that God died on the cross or God is 3 in 1. It came from the church. Yes. Fourthly, there's no change in narration for Mark, Luke, and Matthew. They were honorable gospels, right? There's no proof. Now the Quran, I've tried my best to like present to you why the Quran is divine. Me, I know the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Quran is saying is that he is divinely inspired by God. Because now you have to follow what the Quran is saying. Once you can verify the Quran, now you have to follow. It says that Jesus is not God. Yes, it is no Trinity. Yes, Allah has no sons.
I found the name Anunnaki, just type that on YouTube, and he's talking about the creator and how everything has been changed. But if you Google it, because
I would say maybe he's maybe a historian. Like YouTube is a very dangerous place. You can just
no, but not just YouTube, but it's a good place to start. To just have a rough idea, and then if you're interested, if you want to go in detail to get the actual text to read,
I would say to you that
evidence-based, then
I would say, you know what I would say to you? I would say to you is that YouTube is not. It can be a dangerous place where people can give you ideas.
Place to start. I don't want to say go and buy something that you know you're not going to invest in.
Yeah, maybe for you. Yeah, maybe for you. Yeah, but it's starting.
Can you listen to what I'm saying? You know, I'm just saying that it's like you, right? If you teach me something that I'm gonna go have, if I'm interested in something, I'm gonna go look it up, right? You seem to be, you know your stuff. I'm not trying to make you question. If you go and read that, you'll question. No. I'm just saying, if you go and look on YouTube, keyword YouTube. I know it's not reliable, it's not evidence-based, but if you just want to know just a basic understanding, I wouldn't want to say go and buy a book for £50 to read about the Anunnakis, because that's nothing to do, like maybe you're not interested, you don't want to invest like that. So you can use YouTube, which is free, to get an idea. But if you think, oh, this is some good stuff, is this true, I want to buy it, then go yourself and buy something if you want to. I'm just saying it's a good search tool for free that you can use to just get a rough idea. And then if you want to go into something more detailed and you want to pay for it, or something that's maybe more evidence-based that you can really trust on and use, then you feel comfortable to do that. But for now, I'm just telling you, if you want to just understand what I'm saying, you Google the Anunnaki on YouTube, you can watch even one or two YouTube videos, and that's it. If it's not for you, then you don't have to. There's no point of you paying for stuff or whatever, because you've done it for free. You've literally had a little bit of an idea. Maybe you read the idea and it's completely doesn't make sense. Maybe it's bullshit, and you don't even have to finish it. At least you understand where.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay? So, before we part, I'll say to you to quote, because you said to the beginning that you know that there's only one supreme being.
Yes, there is. I believe that.
So I'll say to you that call upon the supreme being.
Yes.
Call upon the supreme being and ask him to, because I don't believe that you're here by chance today. That you're here for a purpose, and that Allah, I believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought you here for a reason.
Yeah.
to learn about the truth about Islam, right? And I was like to call upon the Creator and ask Him to guide you. If Islam is the truth, bring me closer towards it. If Islam is not the truth, take me away from it, right? It's because I've tried to the best of my ability to give you the proofs.
Yeah, no,
right?
I understand. I appreciate you for your
Yes.
time and your. I really do. Like,
Thank you so much for your time. I know it's quite a long
I'll give you a
conversation.
pound for the charity. This is charity.
Yeah, it goes towards.
Yeah, so I'll give that. I don't want my video showing because I don't look very nice. My
I
hair.
don't know if that's live or not as well. I don't know. That's the thing is that is not my camera, so I would
Okay,
say
whose
to you.
camera is it? To be honest, 'Cause I need
The
to-
one's camera here, I don't know.
I don't like.
I don't
this
truly
on
know.
YouTube. See that?
Oh, that
guys?
over there, yeah.
Okay, but thank you so much for your time. I appreciate
Thank you so much.
it.
Can I give you a Quran?
You can
I gave you one,
give me-
yeah?
I want to like. Do you have a small?
Did I give you one? I'll just give you this one, yeah?
Okay, thank
It's
you
very
very much.
small. Read it.
Yeah.
Read the Quran as well. I find out the Quran because it seems to me that you're a person that's a smart person, wants to read and,
Yeah, I
and
like
find
to
things,
get
yeah?
anything that can bring me knowledge. Why not?
Yeah, you know, so
I like to
read the
learn.
Quran and
So
you
is
find
this
that.
like the if I'm to get so that's like a Bible version of the Quran, basically.
You say it is the Quran. Yeah.
It is the Quran.
It is the Quran. The Quran is an independent source
So
from the
all
Bible.
stuff that's in the Quran will be in here.
Sorry?
A lot of the stuff that's in the Quran will be here. That's meant to be in the Quran is
Yes,
here
yes,
'cause
yeah,
this
yes,
is the
yeah.
Quran.
yes. I understand what you're saying because it's in English, so you want to see,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, that's
yeah.
fine.
Inshallah,
And you don't have, like Christians, they have Old Testament, New Testament. So, but with you, everything is in one book, is combined.
It's the Quran. Also, we have the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay.
also revelation. They go hand in hand.
Okay.
And they complement each other.
Okay.
So he would explain the Quran, right? He would explain the Quran. Say Muslim, say Bukhari. These are books also, again, they are very reliable. Like, if you look at the science of hadith, which is inshallah, it may come for you later. You want to do more research into Islam. What I'll say to you is that,
It says that English meanings and notes.
it's the closest meaning in notes. Closest meaning.
Okay, but it's still same message and
It can
everything.
it can guide you. You can get guidance from it. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for your
Please,
time.
I appreciate
Sorry
it.
if I said anything
No,
that was.
no, you didn't. Not at
you know,
all.
I came
would
across,
have left time ago. I was enjoying your
I
talk
apologize.
and your conversation, and it's really helpful. And I've learned one or two from what you've been saying. So thank you. And
Thank you so
you
much.
for this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Are you okay?
English does.
Do you know have the Romanian?
Yeah.
I think this is probably the only one that we have. Is this one Romanian?
Yeah, Romania, yeah.
Inshallah, you can take this one. Are you Muslim? Yes.
Yeah.
Huh? So why are you Christian?
I like
Then become Muslim. Alhamdulillah, Islam, it makes a lot of sense. You know that Islam makes sense. You know this, yes?
no understand English, na English.
That much. But you know Islam is the truth. Yes? It makes sense to you.
Translate 1 second, translate.
Become Muslim. Yes?
Faith. It's like a religion.